die. Why do you do these things?
Yeah, she.
I didn't do anything.
I just read your shit in TeamSpeak. Anyway, episode 12, go.
It was something.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say it was a dark and stormy night. I blame you, Ichi.
Why am I always blamed?
Because it
your
is
fault.
always your fault. Anyway, episode 12. How did it start? Oh, Black.
Yeah, apparently one of Ozpin's main clients for Buffspressos. And apparently he has the ability to, exponentially increase his mass in order to bend light in, would that be like 270 degrees?
Seriously, like how did that even work? Alright, let me ask Ichi. So, Ichi, you know the point of which Arjan was called on to answer the question about the faunus or whatever, and he's looking over Ublik's shoulder at Pyrrha, but like he was in front of Pyrrha, near the ground, facing forward. So how does that work?
The only thing I can think of was the classroom was curved, but I could not see any definite major curvature there with the seats. So
Curvature.
Yes, curvature. I really don't know. Maybe Jean's neck can stretch when we're not looking or something.
I'm gonna go with the fact that last cup he was drinking out of is multi-layered, and he finally got down to the singularity or dark matter layer, and in that little sip he ingested enough dark matter to cause his mass to increase to bend space-time to cause light to curve.
maybe it's like the coffee cup is actually his weapon, and with each layer it's kind of like Murder Nester, or each layer does like a different thing or something.
I could buy that. That sounds plausible.
I was reading somewhere where people were saying that Ublik and Ozpin are like great friends, and somebody had even mentioned that Ozpin is like his drug dealer.
I would not
Main
argue
espresso
that.
client.
Caffeine is kind of a drug, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Everything's a drug.
But in all honesty, my guess is there was actually an extra scene there that they cut out or cut parts of it out to just sort of trim down the episode.
I don't see why they want to trim an episode that's already that short.
I can't speak to why they would want to do it, but that's just my guess, because, just the way it's set up, but I don't know.
You know how Ublek would explain that whole angle bending scene?
How's that?
Google. Just Google. So moving on to...
I know that I mentioned this to Nixie, but on Reddit somebody had somebody's taking bets on who's gonna break Cardin's legs, and
Nobody.
they actually have the odds here: 2-1 odds on Nora, 3-1 Pyrrha, 5-1 John, and 8-1 anyone else.
Yeah, it won't happen.
He will break his own legs, is my theory.
Yeah, he'll do something stupid and get killed, and be seen as a noble sacrifice or something, or somehow sacrifice himself to be redeemed.
I could totally see Cardin ends up dying. Somebody kills him, and that's what makes John snap.
I don't know. You made the comment, Nixie, when you watched the episode, when I first watched it, that something about Cardin and the paper football.
That was more of of all the things to do. It's like the loser sneeze, The loser sneeze?
I can't tell if you're trying to make a pun or referring to something I don't know about.
You don't know of the loser sneeze? You should know it. In
you make it sound like you sneeze or cough, but you say loser at the same time.
Oh.
In that movie, in Bring It On, they had that whole scene where there's that new kid, and that tough jock was doing the loser sneeze, and he had the whole sort of rant about how the loser sneeze is out of fashion, but they kept doing it anyway. It was like that.
Okay, I see what you mean.
I wanted to do that rant. I can't remember it, but if I could, I would have ranted as such. But
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there was a lot of people saying that John should have just pushed him off the roof.
Well, people are going to say all kinds of things, but that's sort of one of those, if you're not in that situation, you can't really say the frame of mind that you'd be in at the time. But overall, I still feel this was I don't know if weak is the right word to use, but this was not an interesting episode for me. I mean,
lacking is what I would.
It says it right there in the description. Yeah, I actually have the episode up. It says, RWBY, blah, blah, blah. The story focuses on a group of 4 girls in their first year at a legendary academy. Like, I feel like they're giving the background characters just a tad bit too much screen time versus the length of what we know of. Like, you'd think they'd be focusing more on the main 4 until you get to, like, episode after the first season, and then you can kind of flush out the background characters a little bit. But, I mean, episode 11 and 12 is a 2-parter, more focused on John than anybody else. It's like, I don't know. That just doesn't interest me personally.
Well, I can also see, like, John has a personality like he would, even if, Card is an ass and probably deserves to die at some point, John would not want him to die, he'd be like, he's a fellow, classmate, and he would just not want anything to happen to fellow classmates at that point,
That's fine, but I don't care. See, that's the thing. It's like, I'm not interested in John. This episode, I mean, you could probably point any underdog hero story lead and on a TV tropes page, and probably half a dozen of them would fit Jean. Like, it just feels like they're building him up to be the main character. I don't know, that wouldn't interest me. I wouldn't watch the show if Jean was the main character. I mean, at this point in time, that's just, like I said, this just felt like waste is not the right word either, but it just feels like you could skip this episode and almost lose absolutely nothing to the overall story so far.
Well, we did find some information, like he snuck into the academy, so to speak.
He's a cheater.
But then there's also the point,
apparently, according to some fans,
they wouldn't have chose him as the group leader if they didn't see something in him.
No, right. I mentioned that to Nixie after we watched the episode. When I watched the episode first, she was rewatching it. That I have no doubt that Ozpin and or Galinda, both of them, are obviously expecting great things of him. But again, I don't care. That's like, John doesn't interest me, so finding out more information about him just is like, okay, whatever. Can we get back to the characters I'm interested in? I mean, that's just my perspective.
Well, yeah, people were also saying that, which I agree with, that they probably already know that he snuck in, but they let him in anyway, and they do see something in him, and Cardin's going to end up telling somebody like Ozpin, and Ozpin's going to say something which Cardin's not going to like.
I agree. I have very little doubt that Ozpin already knows. Glinda, maybe not, but definitely Ozpin. But concerning that, actually, there was a comment on my episode listing. Someone posted with a theory that was pretty interesting, and I hadn't read it from anyone else before. It was like Jean is actually acting, like that entire scene was an act or something like this, just to get Cardin to blackmail him or something. I don't know, it was just like this whole sort of weird giant plot twist turnabout thing that was pretty...
Like they were setting Cardin up.
Yeah, it was like something like that, and I thought that was pretty out there, but I think that it was also pretty interesting. It's on my journal, so I mean, you can go read it after this or whatever. But yeah, I don't know how it's gonna end up, but I am pretty confident that Ozpin knows about Jean's transcripts.
I haven't read the person's theory you referenced, but it would seem, I guess if you're trying to make a patsy for some big scheme of stealing something or doing something really big, and you have Cardin as the fall guy, but you would think if you're going to go through all that trouble, you would pick someone not as obvious, because the more obvious it would be, the more you would think that, someone's just trying to make him the fall guy because it's Cardin, versus like Nora, you'd be like, oh, what the heck? I don't know. We'll have to see, but I really don't have much more to say about this episode because it's just kind of blah to me.
Well, see, I agree. That's what that's the whole idea behind. I'm so scared to bring this up. So that was the whole idea behind the chat room. But even after all of that, I don't really have much else that is relevant
Yeah.
to the episode.
Yeah, like I was telling Nixie the other day that on the official discussion thread on Reddit, like there was so much talking about breasts and like random as all hell. Like they were rating the sizes of each of the characters' breasts. Wait, well, how did you get all this from that episode?
I'm more surprised it's taken them this long to do that.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I said as well. It's like I'm kind of surprised they didn't do this, during one of the other episode discussions, considering what's gone on in the other episodes. But
well, there goes any chance of me joining Reddit. Good job, Ichi. How about night vision, and that sass? Binoculars. Apparently, binoculars is the new word for night vision.
The sass was amazing, of course, and the night vision, though, obviously wasn't that surprising.
I wouldn't say it was like majorly surprising, but the fact that it applied to all fauna's the plural, right? Fauna was like, cool.
yeah, if people were not talking about breasts, they were talking about how Jean was an idiot not taking Pyrrha's help and feeling sorry for Pyrrha.
Yeah, I read a lot about that too, but I also read a lot of people defending his actions. Like, like Mega said earlier about, if... my thought train just derailed. Fuck. I'm so tired. I'm sorry.
It's... Like I said, it's like almost every trope you could think of for sort of the underdog hero, main character, almost harem lead. You could point to almost any of them and look at Jean and be like, well, he kind of fits this, he kind of fits that, So, I don't know,
No harems. No speak of harems, please.
Well, see, that's like part of also what makes it just sort of meh about it to me, and why I have no interest in Jean, because if they go that route, it's just I probably wouldn't even watch the series if they went that route, to be honest. I think that would likely just tank the whole show.
Oh, no, me neither. This is probably one of the 2 or 3 things that would completely put me off the show, is if they did the harem thing.
I could almost draw a direct parallel. Look what happened in Railgun S. It's almost the same thing, right? Like, if you imagine Jean was already established, like, he would fall in exactly with how Toma did in Railgun S. Like, that's what I keep thinking about, and I don't like it.
Toma. Sorry, what were you saying, Ichi? I think I cut you off.
I was just gonna mention, I don't think you should take the no harem there, because I'm sure that at least one of the characters is semi-close to being able to have harem status.
Yeah,
Blake?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I was just joking.
If anybody be Yang, I would think.
I could still see Blake being center, because I mean, there's some people I'm sure that can't stand how Yang acts, but
I have actually seen a couple people that can't stand Yang. I do not wish to ever meet these people, but they exist. They actually exist. Whereas I have yet to read of anybody disliking Blake.
Well, there is only one person right now that actually hates Blake, so... And that, of course, would be Carden.
He just can't handle that sass. He's jealous of that sass.
I'd like to derail our conversation slightly and go to the we call this chat room. Someone finds it surprising that the 3 of us are still friends after we've RP'd together.
We're friends? The hell? I didn't realize that. Screw you guys. I hate you.
That face. It's gonna go cry in a corner.
No, I don't hate you. I hate Ichi, but I don't hate you.
Oh, I have done nothing wrong.
Uh-huh.
Mega, she banned me a couple of times yesterday.
Yeah, you deserve it.
I'd ban you right now, just for the hell of it. I'm trying to stay away from the chat room because it's going to distract me.
I have a feeling that if John was telling the truth about his family's history, like his grandfather, whatever, fought in the war, I have a feeling that Carden's family was similar, and Carden might actually know John from somewhere.
Nah, I doubt it based on how they acted. Maybe they had known each other and forgotten, but the way he acted at the end of the episode, like, I don't think so. If they knew each other remotely well, it would be pretty obvious that he would have had to cheat to get in.
Well, I mean, he might not know him personally, but he might know the name.
Why is it like whenever Ichi brings up like John or Cardin, I can just picture the first thing that crosses Mega's mind as being, I don't care.
Well, I bring them up because they were technically the focus of the
No,
episode,
I'm not
so.
saying that you shouldn't bring them up. I'm glad that you are, and I was, relying on that fact that you could do that because I know that I wouldn't because honestly, my reaction is the same as Mega's, but they were pretty central to the episode, and they had their screen time, so they need their discussion time. But yeah, I don't care.
I don't care.
Well, I personally don't mind how the episode went, so to speak. I just wish the episode was longer and had more content to it because, I mean,
Dude,
the series might be RWBY, but it is technically based on the two main teams so far. And
Their description on every video, the story focuses on a group of 4 girls.
oh yeah,
4 girls.
RWBY. But if you notice, they don't actually have a description for each episode either.
you mean
But
so?
it's the same description on every episode.
If well, it could include John because
Plot
his
twist,
scream.
Team Juniper is all female.
Scream Yang sort of, thought that he was a girl in trouble. So, But episode 12 was actually one of the longer ones, barring episode 8 out of the episodes so far. Wasn't it like 6 minutes or something? 6 or 7 minutes?
It's right at 7 minutes, I think, give or take.
Yeah, I
seconds.
mean, again, barring episode 8, it was one of the longer ones. So
Most of it was filler content.
Exactly.
Well,
Teacher lecturing. To
That's
me,
my
that
point.
was
Like, this
filler
episode
content.
would fit like after the end of like the first sort of major arc, where now we focused on the main 4. That the show is named after, and kind of they've had their plenty of screen time. It's like now would be where you sort of give some background story to the background characters. Or
yeah.
I personally think it's going fairly slowly as far as development goes, but that just might be me too used to watching anime.
Hmm.
Well, this is going. This is going swimmingly.
One other alternate idea that could happen is Cardin's going to take one step too far and do something to one of his friends like Pyrrha or somebody, and that's when John's going to snap and kick the crap out of Cardin.
What could he do to the others? I don't think any of the other characters would sort of take it on the chin like that as he does. I mean, they all seem literally ready to break his legs. If he were to mess with them, it would have to be something that they wouldn't actually know about. Like, he'd lay a trap for one of them or something like that. But I guess you could go by that.
Yeah, but I see something like I could see something like that happening, and Jean's gonna kick his ass, and Cardin will end up getting kicked out and becoming one of their enemies later or something. I think they're trying to sort of make all 8 characters become like the main superhero character. That's what it feels like to me. Whether they go that route or not is still to be seen, but I mean that's what it feels like.
Meh.
Just in this case, Jean is the underdog, and just about everybody is not.
Again,
You-
I don't care.
Yeah, you could try all you want, Ichi, but I just don't care.
That's all I hear from Mega. He doesn't even have to say anything. I don't care. My brain is like an engine that it won't start. I can't get it to start properly.
I don't know if there's much else to discuss. I mean, we can stop it here.
The last episode was like 4 minutes long, and the recording ended up 44 minutes long. I think it's been like 30 minutes without editing for this one. And the episode was like 7 minutes.
Meh.
I don't care. Oh, it probably helped that there was... You know what it was? Because there was no Yang and Ruby.
I didn't even see them in class.
Neither.
At first, I didn't see them, so I'm like thinking, since it was like a faunus class and stuff, I was like, I wonder if everybody in this class is a faunus.
They were busy practicing their saxophone duets, I think.
Damn straight.
Just saying.
Straight. But Cardin was in that class. Plot twist, Cardin is a faunus.
Well, there's another. I'm paused at where it showed one of the parts where it shows sort of like an overview of the seating arrangements. And next to Weiss, there's another blonde-haired guy.
Oh yeah, I saw a screenshot with that, and someone was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah,
The hell is this guy?"
He's all colored, which is interesting because one of the like black silhouettes raised their hand to say they were faunus. So I find it interesting that that person who actually quote unquote had seen significance was just a silhouette versus this other random blonde person that looks like John's brother.
Regarding that silhouette, I think that was more of a because Velvet actually looked around before she raised her hand, so maybe it was just to have her see somebody raise their hand before she did.
Yeah, I could see that, but it's still strange that they would then have like a person that actually was fully colored and clothed and whatnot.
No,
just
yeah.
sit there.
Same with the guy in like episode 10, you know, that was like, in like the background during that class. Mustaches class.
Professor Pringles?
Mustaches class.
I call him
Professor Griswold?
Mustache.
Okay, we'll call this guy Professor Dark Matter.
I like Oobleck. That's a cool name. I'm going to be editing this, and like 40% of it is just going to be like silence. It's like no talking.
I mean, what else can we say about the episode? Like, I'm searching for more to talk about. It's just like, there's nothing else.
Any more theories that does not involve breasts or certain other topics that were discussed that should never be mentioned ever again on the internet?
Not that I'm aware of at this point.
I'm half tempted to ask for someone to bring a point up in the chat room, but that might cause chaos that I am not prepared to deal with at this time.
That'd be interesting. We could name them off, put them on the spot.
Well, there are 8 people in there besides us right now, so I'm sure we could get some kind of an idea.
Really? That's a lot. Let me see. Well, no, oh god, Waffly is in here. God damn it. Well, now I'm definitely scared to bring up oh god. Yeah, if there was one person that was like as bad, it would have been Waffly. It was, yeah. Damn you, Waffly. Damn you. There, I called someone out. I think that he was the only person that was here yesterday. Well, other than Arrow, I guess, but you know, Arrow is slightly more sane than the rest of the people. Ask, don't ask.
Sure,
Your
ask.
call.
Alright, one of you ask once, and we'll see what happens.
She's probably already typing it, so I'll wait for him to do it.
Oh god, you're gonna let Ichi...
I can do it.
It's gonna be terrible.
She probably will get more interesting reactions than I would since he's been around for actual interesting discussions, and no one apparently likes to discuss much of anything when I'm around.
Yeah, Luno just mentioned the whole thing with John and Pyrrha could possibly have planned it to get Carden.
And
That
there
makes
it
sense.
is.
I mean, Kira was like, "Do you want me to break his legs?" It just seemed like if John would have said yes, it just would have been like, "Okay, yeah, we'll break his legs."
And of course, the VnixxiDillo made an appearance
Oh god damn.
from Waffle, by the way.
Well, since it was brought up, would you like to explain the whole VnixxiDillo thing, Ichi?
That's okay. I'll let you explain it.
No, I'm not even gonna go there. I was, you know, it was your whole like little baby thing. You and Waffly's little baby thing. So I mean, you can explain it if you want, but I'm not gonna go there.
If I remember right, we were having a discussion about a new sort of like Grimm, and somebody had mentioned about John flipping it, and then they said it could be an armadillo, and then I forgot who it was that said we need to name it. And because, you know, it's like an armadillo, but it's a Grim, so I thought, hey, Grimdillo. Then I'm like, Grimadillo. And Nixie said something, so I said VnixxiDillo.
Why does that not surprise me?
Nixie just, like, lost her shit.
Well, no, and then you had to go on and say some shit about Nora playing croquet with her hammer.
Using the giant VnixxiDillo as the ball.
And I thought I was crazy, seriously. I just, sometimes people amaze me and scare me.
I'm not the one who's trying to ship Nixie with
No,
the VnixxiDillo.
we are not going into that.
Oh God!
I partook in none of the shipping.
Yes, you did. It was just other people shipping you with random people.
It's like, wait, what? I think at one point somebody actually shipped me and Mega together.
I was like, yeah, that's my OTP right there.
It's okay.
I just imagine the warning on this episode. Warning: there may be talk of shipping, but not the kind you're used to.
By the way, I totally ship me and Mega.
I bet you do.
Don't make me bring up certain photos.
Don't act like you hate it, Mega.
You would actually come see me every now and again. Maybe I wouldn't.
Why does it always have to be me to come see you, huh?
It's gonna be a thing.
Gee,
it's gonna be
because
like
I've flown out there to see you on multiple occasions.
I know, I have pictures.
Exactly.
Oh my god! Fight! Kiss! I need to start making this like the RTAAs have like little flash animations. But that would require me actually having focus, which I do not have.
Ichi's not doing anything. He can do it.
Yeah, Ichi, you should do it. Do it for your...
Actually, after I'm done watching my movie and all this, I'm going to be finishing up the backing up of stuff and starting the reinstall of my OS.
I want to see what
Always
this
an
does to the
excuse.
chat room.
Wait, what was that?
Hang on. I'll just leave that there.
Waffling it.
So nothing else, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
3.
Say bye to all the people.
Bye.
Goodbye.
I was gonna say Mega's sitting there like, I don't care.
I don't care.
I want to see if my cat wants to say bye. Want to say bye?
Buffy.
Buffy, say bye. Bye to the people. She should be our mascot. The only mascot that like drop kicks people in the face. Alright. Bye, people. Let's hope TeamSpeak stops recording this time.
Well, no. It seems to have gotten quite a positive review last time for the sort of after credits bloopers.
Bloopers. This entire reel is a blooper. Okay, seriously? Really?